and welcome to day 6 of Move the Mind. So today we're going to be continuing that theme of stability and finding those strong foundations in the legs, but we're going to be working our way up to a standing posture. We're going to begin lying down on our backs. Keep those 2 blocks handy. Bringing the soles of the feet down to the floor, or the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Bringing hands to the belly, maybe one hand to the chest, the other hand to the belly, or both hands out either side of the body, finding your Supta Baddha Konasana. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And more like this, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Giving yourself a few moments to arrive into the space, to arrive onto the mat. Seeing if you can treat this time like a full stop in your day, a new paragraph, a new chapter. So everything that's come before now doesn't matter anymore, it has no purpose here, it's done. And anything ahead has yet to begin. You don't know what's in those pages. So it has no purpose here. Seeing if you can honouring yourself by bringing yourself into the present moment. This is a time for you and you alone. So with that, maybe just checking in to see how you feel today, how the body is, how the mind is. You're not holding judgment on what comes up, just noticing, finding that awareness, and then moving on. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, opening the eyes with a soft gaze. Hugging those knees into the chest and just taking a gentle rocking motion from side to side. Loosening up that lower back. And we're going to arrive in a tabletop position. So whichever way you want to get there, whether that's rolling over to one side and helping yourself out, or rocking and rolling up the length of the spine by bringing the hands to the back of the thighs, engaging the core and finding that momentum, crossing over the ankles, and finding our tabletop. Hands underneath elbows, underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Then inhale, sending the right leg back, finding that stretch along the back of the hamstring. Exhale, allowing that heel to come down towards the floor, pushing equally into both hands. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, crossing that right foot off to the left edge of the mat. Again, just easing that heel down towards the floor, keeping the navel engaged, belly engaged. Keep your gaze towards the top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the right knee back down. Inhaling the left leg back. Again, just easing into the back body, allowing that left heel to come down towards the ground. Equal weight in both hands. Inhale. Exhale, crossing left toes to the right edge of the mat. Keeping that belly strong, gaze in between the fingertips. Weight equal in both hands. Inhale. Exhale, bringing left knee back to mute right. Then inhale, dropping the belly, peeling the chest through, looking up, finding your cow. Exhale, navel to spine, finding that doming sensation in the back. Cow. Cat, rather. And then here, just finding any sort of intuitive movement that you need. Maybe pushing back into child's pose in that cat. Maybe arching further forward in the cow. Or just taking traditional cat and cow. It's really starting to tap into what feels good in your body, what feels good in your spine. But making sure you're linking the movement with the breath.
Coming to that neutral spine, tucking the toes under, and just inching the knees away from the mat, finding our first downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet. We'll be inhaling, coming high onto the balls of the toes, taking a deep bend in the knees, really sending that tailbone skyward before allowing the heels to come back down towards the floor. Finding stillness. Finding that stable root, finding your posture, finding your breath in this downward facing dog. Inhaling high onto the balls of the feet, deep bend in the knees, look up between the palms, and just take as many little steps to the top of the mat as it takes, keeping the knees soft, taking hold of opposite elbows, and hanging the head, finding your ragdoll. Either staying static in this posture or moving the torso. So trying to keep the hips stable as you swing from side to side. Inhale and exhale, finding stillness. Inhale, releasing the arms and engaging the belly to slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, come all the way up to find our Tadasana. Big toes together, heels slightly apart, or feet hips distance apart here. Really finding that balance within the four corners of the feet, engaging the calves, engaging the thighs, strong belly. Inhale the shoulders up and away from the ears, bringing the palms to face the front of the room. Finding that moment of stillness before we begin our Vinyasa Flow. Inhale, bringing both hands up above the head, gazes to thumbs. Exhale, hinging and folding over the waist, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting coming up to that halfway Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, planting the hands and stepping back, finding your high plank. Exhale, bringing the knees to the ground, bringing the body weight forward, keeping the gaze to the top of the mat as elbows bend, finding Chaturanga, that halfway point. Inhale, peeling the chest forward, Cobra. Exhale, sending the hips back, finding your child's pose. Inhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So again, if you do need to take a few bends in the knees here, we're still early on in the practice. So your practice, your body, your way. Really pressing down through the hands, making sure each and every fingertip and the thumb is connecting with the floor. Shoulders are away from the ears. Staying with that breath, seeing if you can elongate that breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, come high on the ball of the right foot, bringing the right knee to the nose. And then planting that right foot up into between the hands, no matter how many steps it takes. Lowering the left knee down. Inhale, arms lift, finding Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, opening the arms, so left arm is coming forward as right arm is coming back, finding our twisted low lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, turning left palm to the sky. Exhale, tracing that right hand down the back left leg, finding a revolved twisted low lunge. So really opening up into that left hip flexor. Inhale. Exhale, spiraling both hands to the mat or to blocks as you straighten through. That right leg finding your half Hanumanasana, your half splits. So really bringing right hip back as left hip goes forward. Inhale, extending through the spine. Exhale, maybe starting to hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending into that right leg. Bringing hands to top of mat. Exhale, stepping left foot in to meet right. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pushing into the feet, coming up into standing. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the prayer through heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, both arms lift, gaze follows thumbs. Exhale, engaging the core, swan diving over the legs, finding your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long straight through the spine. Exhale, planting the hands and stepping back, finding your plank. Then either bringing knees down or knees can stay lifted. Inhale to prepare, really pushing through the hands, finding that stable foundation. Exhale, bringing the body weight forward, gaze to the top of the mat, bending the elbows, coming to that 90-degree angle. Inhale, coming through, finding upward dog or your cobra. Exhale, rolling over toes, downward facing dog. Or child's pose, whichever feels better for you today. But really seeing if you can extend the back of the legs, really tilting that tailbone up towards the sky. How long can you make your spine? Coming back to your breath. And as we did at the beginning, seeing if you can create a full stop, a pause with this posture, a reset. And inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, high onto the ball of that right foot, bringing left knee to nose. And then planting left foot in between hands, right knee lowers. Inhale, arms lift, Anjanasana, low lunge. Exhale, bringing the left arm back as the right hand comes forward, finding our twisted low lunge. Inhale here. You can keep those back toes tucked if you need a bit more stability. Exhale here. Inhale, turning right palm skyward. Exhale, bringing left hand down the right leg as the right hand comes up towards the ceiling. Gaze can be lifted to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, bringing both hands to the mat or to bricks. As you extend that left leg straight, left toes coming up towards the ceiling. And really bringing the left hip back as the right hip comes forward. And you want your right hip to be above your right knee. So not sitting all the way back here, staying elevated in the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending into that left knee, planting hands. Exhale, right foot into meet left. Inhale, look up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, root to rise, gaze follows thumbs. Exhale, bringing the prayer back through the center line of the body, finding Tadasana. Inhale, both arms lift, gaze follows those thumbs. Exhale, hinging and folding over the legs, keeping a bend in the knees if you need. Inhale, looking up halfway, finding that length in the spine. Exhale, planting the hands and stepping back, finding your plank. Either knees come down or knees lifted. Inhale, finding your plank, really doming through the top of the back. Heels are coming up towards the top of the mat. Exhale, bringing the weight forward as you bend the elbows, tucking them in towards the rib cage. Inhale, coming through to your upward dog or your cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog or child's pose. Coming back to the breath. Back to this moment. And if you are in your child's pose, coming back up to downward facing dog. Inhaling, the right leg lifts. Exhale, stepping right foot up into between the palms. Inhale, both arms lift, coming into a crescent lunge. So high on the ball of that back foot. Hips are squared to the front of the room. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Arms are up in front of the face. You should be able to see your fingertips. Keeping that core engaged. Inhale. And exhale. Can you sink down a little bit deeper into that front knee and really pushing off that back foot like someone's pushing your heel. Inhale. Exhale, straightening that front leg and folding down over to bring your hands to blocks or hands to the floor. Now you can stay with that back toes with the back heel lifted, or step the foot in slightly, coming into more traditional pyramid pose. So really anchoring that back foot onto the floor. Inhale, pushing into the blocks or to the ground to extend through the chest, extending the spine. Exhale, folding down over that right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rebending in to that right knee, coming onto the ball of the foot if you've had the foot flat. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, navel to spine, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Coming into our tree now, our standing balancing. So either bringing the left foot to the right ankle, to the calf, or assisting the left foot up to the inside of the right thigh. Never, ever, ever across the knee joint. Finding your balance, it can be handy to look at a point on the floor. Inhale those shoulders up and away from the ears and bringing the prayer to the heart space. Pushing equally with both hands. If you do want to challenge your balance, you can try closing your eyes here. Ooh. That will make it super wobbly. But really becoming aware of your feet, how you're grounding through your foot. Feeling that connection with the ground. And allowing your leg to go strong from this balanced and stable foundation. Keeping the core engaged, navel to spine. And on the next inhale, hugging that left knee into the chest. Exhale, folding forward over the legs, bringing hands to bricks or hands to the floor, finding standing splits. And just noticing here if that left hip is opening up to the side, turning the toes down towards the mat. Aiming to bring the forehead towards the shin. But this might look like this with the left leg a lot lower, or the left leg might be a bit higher. It just totally depends on your hamstring flexibility and your hip flexors. Inhale, look up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, bringing the left knee behind the right to come to sitting, finding our half lord of the fish pose. So if this is uncomfortable, that left leg can come out in front, or left leg can tuck into the hip. Bringing the right hand behind the back, inhaling, left arm lifts. Exhale, connecting the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, extending through the chest first. Exhale, finding that twist from the navel. Maybe the rib cage moves, the shoulder moves. And finally, maybe the neck and the head move to look over that right shoulder. If you do have the bind here, bringing the left hand in between and taking the right hand to take hold of the left. Really finding that opening in the shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Really rooting that right toe down into the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, coming back through centre, and just taking a counter rotation to the other side. Inhale, coming back into centre, crossing over the ankles and either making your way through that chaturanga or stepping straight back into downward facing dog. These vinyasas are always optional. If you do want to come back into child's pose or downward dog, please feel free to do so. This is your practice, your time. It's all about you. Finding that space and downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And inhaling, the left leg lifts, high, high, high on the ball of the right toes, bringing left knee to nose, planting left foot in between the palms. Inhale, rising up to find our crescent lunge. Really high on the ball of that back foot, almost like you're going to launch yourself away here. Hands can either come to the waist, feeling the squareness of the hips, or bringing the hands up in front of the face. Gaze in between the hands. Can you sink a little bit lower into that front knee? Inhale, core is engaged. Exhale. Shoulders down away from the ears. We don't want to be hunching up like this. Shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale, bringing hands to bricks or hands to the floor, straightening through that front leg. An option to either stay high on the ball of that back foot or jump that back foot in slightly. really rooting it into the ground, and it's like your legs are on train tracks here. Both toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, hinging and folding, gaze goes towards the big toe. But really just making sure that left hip is going back as the right hip is going forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming back onto the ball of that back foot, deep bend in the left knee. Exhale, hugging right knee in towards the chest. Setting up for our tree pose. So bringing the right foot either to the inside of the ankle, the calf, or helping it up to nestle into the inside of the left thigh. And palms can either be at the heart space, or if you do want to take an opening in the chest, we can take reverse Namaste, reverse prayer behind the back, or take hold of opposite elbows. Finding that root in that bottom foot, in the left foot. Finding that connection to the ground. And your balance might be a bit different on this side. Maybe you wobble a bit more. But when we wobble, when we fall, that's when the body learns. We're just super still all the time. The body's not learning. So maybe if you are finding total tree-like stillness, maybe close the eyes and challenge your balance. Inhale. And exhale. And next inhale, hugging that right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, folding down over the left leg, hands to bricks, hands to the floor. Bringing the forehead towards the left shin, but seeing if you can square the hips, right toes coming down towards the mat, rather than just opening the hips up towards the ceiling, finding that noise, finding that communication with the back leg. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bringing right knee behind the left, allowing the seat to come to the floor. Maybe that right leg goes long, maybe it feels good to have it tucked in. Left foot is planted on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, the left arm comes just behind the left hip. Exhale here. Inhale, the right arm lifts, bringing right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Then inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, starting to twist from the navel, belly to spine. Then maybe the rib cage moves. Maybe the shoulder moves. Then maybe you can look out over that left shoulder. And the inhales release and lengthen. Exhales, twist. If you have the bind on the other side, please feel free to take it on this side too. You can also use a strap to help here if you like. But really finding that foundation in the twist first. Finding the strength to twist rather than just relying on the body to pull yourself into the twist. Inhale, coming back into center. Exhale, taking that counter twist to the other side. Inhale, back into center. And making your way to lying down onto your back. Finding Shavasana, our final pose. If you like, you can hug the knees into the chest first, taking a rock from side to side. Maybe coming through a little happy baby. Before finding yourself in that Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you today. Rolling the shoulders underneath the chest, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, in through the nose. Let. Out through the mouth. Go. And if you do have the time to take a longer Shavasana, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, I will leave you here. Thank you for your energy and your practice and your time today. Namaste.